Today we are going to build Simon game because who wants to put money on this piece of junk? Instead, we'll put our money on a microcontroller, bunch of LEDs, lots and lots of jumper wires and some push buttons and some other electronics, because creating your own stuff is so economic, right? For those of you who don't know, Simon game is a retro electronic game which creates a series of light blinking patterns, and it requires the user to repeat those light patterns or sequences. If he successfully completes the correct sequence, the series becomes progressively longer and more complex. Okay, I've got my electronic stuff right here, so let's begin. Okay noobs, first rule of building hardware interfaces is to handle your electronics with a good care, alright? Alright. First, I need to design a circuit diagram for this game. There's this software called Proteus which lets you build interactive software diagrams. You can even run simulations on this thing.
3 hours later.
If you're not an engineer, this diagram might scare you. I mean, I'm an engineer and this scares the living out of me. Okay, let's break this down into a less nerdy language. We have got 4 LED lights, 4 buttons and a microcontroller. If you don't know what a microcontroller is, don't worry, I'm gonna explain it. If you don't know what LEDs and buttons are, you might as well leave now. A microcontroller is basically the brain of the system. It controls the digital and analog signals according to the instructions or the code uploaded in its memory. We want our controller to generate a sequence of random numbers between 1 and 4. It corresponds to the electric signals of these LEDs placed at the index 1, 2, 3 and 4. We want to light these LEDs according to the sequence generated. Then we listen to the user's input through buttons and check if he's pushing the buttons in the right sequence. We might as well place a red and green light which tells you if your answer is right or wrong. After each right answer, we'll increase the size of the sequence to make the game harder. It occurred to me that I can even place an LCD which displays the high score by any player, or I don't know, instructions or something. So first, I created the basic circuit of this game on a breadboard. To be honest, it wasn't very difficult. It's just basic electronics, you know. I wrote the code for the basic logic of this game, uploaded it and started testing. Now guys, don't worry, this is just a raw circuit for testing purposes. It'll get cleaner and it'll look better. Well, I wrote the code that goes into this microcontroller's memory so it can understand what it has to do. But nobody wants to read the code which I spent a full week writing and debugging and crying. After writing and testing the basic logic of this game, I moved on to add the LCD. Now this is where things got complicated. Guys, as you must be aware, I'm not much of an electronics guy. I'm more of a
loser.
I connected the wires according to a diagram I found on the internet, wrote the code, pushed it onto the controller, but it did not work. The LCD did not display anything that I wanted it to display. It was just showing some random alien language. I spent hours trying to figure out what's wrong. Is it the code, the hardware, my existence? In the end, I accepted my defeat and gave up, like a true gentleman. What happens when an engineer like me encounters a problem, a difficult problem? You see, this LCD is busted, or it's not working properly. I don't know why. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna pack my shit, lose all the hope, and hope that no one finds out that I ever tried. You're not gonna watch this video. So our LCD is busted. Well, that, we didn't even like it in the first place. I got a new plan. Instead of this shiny little piece of shit, we'll use shiny little pieces of LEDs. We'll use these LEDs to show the player how many levels he has cleared. And when the game is not being played, it will display high score, as in maximum number of levels cleared by anyone. And the best part is it's not even difficult. I hate difficult things. So I plugged the connections for the level indicator and wrote some damn sexy code, and it got working as I expected. Perfect. Again guys, don't worry if this circuit intimidates you. We are going to make it better. How, you ask? Well, we're gonna take all this and pack it together in a box.
Get your together. Get it all together and put it in a backpack. All your so it's together.
Now all I need is a box.
बाटिया खाली डिब्बा है?
नहीं है।
We can't just pack all this in a box of whiskey, and we have to make this a little better looking game. So I put a nice little wrapper around the box, put some holes for the LEDs, got my buttons soldered, and boy, look at all this complicated mess down there. With the help of some extra friends, I added everything inside the box, and now the game is complete. You know guys, the whole reason why I got into programming was so I can build things that people may enjoy. Software development is cool and all, but the real deal is embedded systems. Trust me, when my code took control of all those LEDs and buttons, it just made everything worth it. I challenged my friends to play this game. They had a good time playing this, but you know, I was the one who actually enjoyed the most because it was something I built. So if you want to see me keep building stuff like this, leave a like, subscribe, and I might just stay motivated enough to keep making these videos. I don't know. See you next time.
बाटिया बॉक्स है?
नहीं। यार बहुत अच्छा था यार ये।